all carbs are not created equal. Hey guys, welcome back to Your Champion Life YouTube channel. Thank you for being with me. All carbohydrates are not created equal. And I want to show you how to burn body fat because that's actually what I'm doing right now. I allowed myself to put on a little weight and to, kind of back off a little bit, especially going through this time that we're in. But now it's time to fuel and to move forward. So I'm looking at my own videos, guys. I want you to watch this video. Tell me if you like it. Boom. Hey guys, it's me, Ron Williams. Not long ago, I put out a video. It was about 3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 50 seconds. And we talked about carbohydrates and how they're used in the body and how they lean the body. And if you want a six-pack, how to get a six-pack. One big concept that I want you to get across to you, and that's this. All carbohydrates are not treated equal in the body. All calories are not equal when it comes to the body. Our body digests and absorbs different types of macronutrients differently. I'm gonna go to my favorite store here in Utah. It's a beautiful day today, but I'm gonna go to my favorite store and we're just gonna go through some of the carbohydrates. Okay guys, most of the time when you talk about carbs, most people think you're talking about this, bread type items, or let me show you another aisle where they think you're talking about carbs. Okay, I just want you to look to my left. This is what we think, well, many of us anyway, think that carbs are. The potato chips, the corn chips, all of these, we look at these as carbohydrates. These are refined carbohydrates, may not be the best for you. Now we get into the real carbs. Look to my left. Oh my goodness. How many of us love this kind of thing? I've been away from it so long, it doesn't even really, it doesn't even spark my taste buds at all. Did you know fruit are simple carbs? This is one of my favorite foods in all the world. Love grapes. Need my potassium, so get my bananas. It has to have a certain sound to it. Okay, I'm gonna get my potatoes. Now I love potatoes. Again, they go in the stews that I make, and sometimes I make French fries. Yes, I make French fries. But what I do with my French fries, I bake them in the oven, put a little water on the bottom of the pan, and let the water cook out, and then allow that to cook the potato. And once the water cooks out, I allow it to crisp a little bit. So that's how I eat French fries, and you can call them potato chips. Some people will call them potato chips. But that's a starchy carb. So let's continue. And for today, that's probably all I'm gonna get with the starchy carbs right now. So I'm gonna move towards my more fibrous type carbs. I love kale greens, I love spinach. We have a special guest for you guys today, and it's lovely Kayla, who is not just an ordinary girl. There's something really, really special about her. We have something in common. We love diet and nutrition.
I'm a registered dietitian and I work for Harmon's, the grocery store. And
by the way, this is one of the most loveliest stores that I've ever been in. And
Thank you.
It's just so awesome that I live right down the street and get the opportunity to shop here all the time.
It really is a nice place. So registered dietitians have to go to school for at least 4 years in college and go through an accredited program and get training on metabolism, anatomy and physiology, organic chemistry, biochemistry. We take a lot of hard science classes, and we know about how food affects the body and how to also use food to help increase your health.
Tell us about the carbs we have here. What you think about the carbs we have?
So these are all sources of carbohydrates. And we wouldn't always think about vegetables having carbs, but they do. Carbohydrates are linkages of sugars. Most people don't realize that carbs are linkages of sugars. They're just linked in different ways. So you find them naturally occurring in fruits, vegetables, grains, and then also dairy foods can have carbohydrates as well. You're not gonna find a ton of carbohydrates in vegetables, but they are there. You also find fiber in all of these items. So while they are linkages of sugars, carbohydrates are fiber, helps to slow down the rise in blood sugar that comes from consuming carbohydrates.
Let me ask you this. I always say that all calories are not equal. And then I go a little bit further. I say all carbohydrates are not equal.
Oh yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Totally.
Why would you say that?
So calories do matter for weight management. You know, if you're eating too much food, that is going to spell trouble for your waistline. But the quality matters just as much as the quantity. And for carbohydrates specifically, choosing better sources is going to give you more nutrition, it's going to help balance your blood sugar, and it's going to help reduce your risk for a lot of those diseases like type 2 diabetes.
Tell me this. When you say balance your blood sugar, what happens when you eat a lot of simple carbohydrates?
Those spike your blood sugar. They don't have any fiber to help slow down the rise in blood sugar. They don't contain a lot of nutrients. It's mostly empty calories. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna eat that food and then your blood sugar is gonna spike up. And then because your blood sugar has spiked, your body's gonna release insulin, which is going to help get that sugar into your cells, and then you're gonna have a crash. And then, so an hour or two later, you're starving again, and then you're tired and hungry. So what you wanna do instead of that, to avoid that blood sugar crash, you wanna be consuming healthy, complex sources of carbohydrates that have fiber, that have beneficial nutrients, vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are gonna, instead of doing a spike, you're gonna have more of a gradual increase, and you're gonna have them level off, your blood sugar levels. You're not gonna have a crash.
We're talking about carbohydrates again. Now, there are different types of carbohydrates. There are complex carbohydrates, there are simple carbohydrates, and there are fibrous carbohydrates. Now your complex, these are the carbohydrates that give you the maximum amount of energy. So we want to make sure that we eat them early in the day. You don't want to eat them late at night. Why? They give you the maximum amount of energy for a long period of time. So, say for example, if you eat this complex carbohydrate at 9 o'clock at night, remember, stop eating 2 hours before bed, and you go to bed at 11:15. So, if you're eating these at night, these are going to give you 6 hours of energy. Now, 6 hours, that means it's going to be well in the morning before this energy stops from this complex carbohydrate that you just ate. So the body is not going to utilize that carbohydrate that's in the body. So what the body does, it'll store those extra calories. And when it stores those extra calories, guys, it stores it not as protein, it stores it as excess body fat. Why? Because it will use those extra calories for energy at a later time. So we don't want to eat the complex carbohydrates late. We want to eat them earlier in the day because the body has a time frame that it can use it. So if you're eating your complex carbohydrates at 6 in the morning, you're eating your complex carbohydrates at 12 or 12:30 in the afternoon, even at 3 o'clock. You're going to be safe because you've got this 6 hour window. You've got this 6 hour window from here to here, from here to here. You're going to be able to digest and absorb those carbohydrates early. So later on at night, it's better to eat your fibrous carbohydrates, your vegetables, your salads, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, different things like that. Later on at night, you don't want to eat your sweet potatoes, your white potatoes, your rice, your beans, things like that at night late. And normally what we do as Americans, we love steak and potatoes, and we have our dessert along with that. But if we eat our heavier carbohydrates earlier in the day, it's going to help us reach the goals that we're trying to reach. If you compile them together, stop eating 2 hours before bed, make sure you eat your complex carbohydrates earlier, all of those things, make sure you're drinking enough water, all of those things are gonna help you to decrease this extra body fat. Do it, guys. We'll talk to you soon. God bless you.